Welcome back to Blissful Garden, a place to share simple yet effective tips for caring for and propagating orchids. In today's video, I'll show you how to propagate orchids from dead orchid cuttings, using just a few simple ingredients, most of which are readily available in your kitchen. If done correctly, you'll soon see new shoots sprouting and your orchids growing vigorously in no time. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss out on more easy yet effective orchid care tips. Now let's get started. This is an orchid that has passed its flowering season and is showing signs of wilting and severe weakness. This is a fairly common condition, especially with plants that are infected due to unsuitable care conditions after flowering. I have an orchid whose leaves have begun to dry out and fall off little by little. The main cause is mold and harmful bacteria that eat from the top down to the base, and many roots have even rotted and lost their ability to absorb water. When checking, the roots below are still fresh, but the higher up the plant, the more wilted it becomes. The middle part of the stem is broken, a clear sign of fungal and bacterial infection spreading deep inside. The leaves show signs of mold invasion, indicating that the plant tissue is gradually becoming necrotic, reducing the ability to metabolize and leading to the gradual loss of cell vitality. Many orchids bought from greenhouses are in a similar condition. They still look fresh on the outside, but inside they are severely damaged from the base of the leaves, the root collar, or the underground stem. Remove the outer layer of substrate to directly assess the condition of the root system and the inner base, thereby determining the level of damage or signs of recovery of the tree. It can be observed that some roots are still green and healthy. However, most of the roots have rotted due to mold invasion, seriously affecting the plant's ability to absorb nutrients. Remove all growing media that shows signs of fungal infection or is no longer hygienic to prevent the risk of spreading pathogens and create a safe growing environment for orchids. In addition to the English subtitles, you can use the automatic translation to your language to understand the content more easily. To subtitle in your language, open the video and click on the gear icon settings in the automatic translation to select your preferred language. Which country are you watching this video from? Please leave a comment to let me know. It's great that we can connect and chat with each other from all over the world. After completely removing the substrate, it can be clearly observed that many of the lower roots are still green, but the upper roots have degenerated, partially withered, and have soft, blackened or rotten sections due to prolonged damage. I will remove these roots, keeping only the roots that are still fresh, white, and able to absorb water. In some cases, the upper roots are dead, but the lower roots are still alive. This means that the tree still has the ability to recover if handled properly. Using thoroughly sterilized shears, thoroughly cut off diseased root segments to prevent the risk of spreading pathogens to healthy roots. Removing damaged roots is a very important step as it helps to eliminate the source of the disease and allows the plant to begin regenerating. Use clean, sharp scissors to neatly trim each rotten root to avoid damaging the healthy base of the plant. After removing the damaged roots, I determined that the recovery potential from the remaining root system was very low. Therefore, I turned to exploiting dormant buds and buds on the orchid stem in order to conduct cuttings, an effective method of propagation when the mother plant is weakened. To promote germination, carefully remove the bark surrounding the dormant buds on the plant to stimulate the growth of new shoots. Observation shows that the orchid's buds are still strong, which is a positive sign indicating the ability to form new roots and leaf buds in the near future. Pruning. Keeping the cuttings with dormant eyes and treating them with antifungal and antibacterial agents are extremely important steps if you want to restore a diseased orchid. Many people think that when the plant has completely wilted, they should be discarded, but in fact, just a small living cutting can revive into a new plant even stronger if properly cared for from the beginning. Clean the entire orchid with clean water. This helps to completely remove the remaining mold on the stem and roots. I spray water gently and evenly all over the root ball, paying special attention to the areas around the dormant buds and the cuts to clean completely. When finished washing, I observed that the roots were much cleaner and fresher. The mold patches were almost completely washed away. The green shoots of the plant can be seen. At the base of the plant, there were still many dormant buds. This is the important point that helps the plant recover later. Use a clean cotton towel to dry the entire stem and roots. This will help the plant dry quickly and clean up any remaining mold. Next, I start to retreat the cuts. Using a stamp knife or sharp blade, I trim the roots or previously cut stems to be smooth and sweet. Doing so will help minimize the risk of rot and infection from open wounds. Immediately after cutting, I gently dab the cut part into a burning candle. The hot wax will cover the cut surface, like a natural protective layer. This method has antibacterial, waterproof, and fungal effects, a simple but very effective tip in the process of restoring weak orchids. After all the above steps, the orchid has been cleaned by me. The roots and cuts have been carefully treated and is ready to move on to the incubation and recovery care stage. I use ripe bananas, a natural ingredient rich in nutrients. Bananas contain many B vitamins, vitamin C, potassium and phosphorus ingredients that are very beneficial for the recovery and development of orchids, especially during the rooting and sprouting stages. I will use banana peels as a natural fertilizer. This is a simple, cost-effective and environmentally friendly way to nourish your orchids every day. To make fertilizer, simply chop the banana peel into small pieces. Chopping it will help the peel decompose faster and release nutrients more effectively for plants to absorb. Banana peels help orchids develop healthy roots, absorb nutrients from the surrounding environment. Next, I used a fresh aloe vera branch. Choose an old leaf with a lot of gel inside. Cut a large piece to use as a gel nutrient for the orchid. We will cut the rest into small pieces. Split the aloe vera in half and use the fresh aloe vera gel to apply directly to the dormant buds on the orchid. Place the dormant bud completely submerged in the aloe vera flesh to optimize nutrient absorption. This method allows the biological components of aloe vera to penetrate deeply into the plant tissue, thereby stimulating the bud to quickly germinate and promote root formation naturally and effectively. Then I let it sit for about 15 minutes so the aloe vera gel can be absorbed evenly, and continue to chop the remaining aloe vera into small pieces. We will use this part to continue supporting the rooting process and providing nutrients for the orchid. After leaving it for enough time, I gently removed the plant, then continued with the root stimulation and recovery mixture. During this process, you will clearly see the dormant buds begin to emerge. That is a sign that the plant is gradually recovering its vitality. Proceed to put the prepared aloe vera pulp and banana peel slices into the blender. 2 nutrient-rich ingredients make a great natural fertilizer for orchids to revive. Next, I pour in about 500 milliliters of clean water. Then cover and puree the mixture to release the substances in the banana peel and aloe vera to create a nutritious mixture. Once blended, I filtered the mixture through a fine sieve or cloth to remove the residue, keeping the thick juice. This is a very effective natural recovery solution, helping orchids to root strongly, increase resistance, and grow evenly. Use a spoon to squeeze out the juice from the pulp to avoid wasting nutrients. After filtering, I add another 500 milliliters of clean water to the juice to get a thinner solution, suitable for soaking or spraying. Let the mixture rest for about 15 minutes before using. After about 15 minutes, I started the next step in the orchid care process. I used a soft cotton pad, soaked in a nutrient solution of aloe vera and banana, and gently wiped the entire surface of the leaves. This helps remove any remaining fungal spores on the leaves, while also allowing the nutrients to penetrate directly into the leaf tissue, activating the plant's ability to absorb nutrients. After wiping clean, I soak the entire orchid in the solution for about 30 minutes. Make sure the roots are completely submerged in the nutrient water. After 30 minutes of soaking, not only can you see the roots become healthy again, but it also helps the dormant buds and new shoots begin to show signs of revival, especially when the plant comes into contact with the aloe vera and banana mixture, a natural source of nutrients rich in enzymes, vitamin B and minerals necessary for the root stimulation and shoot growth stages. Next, I took the plant out to disinfect the open wounds with cinnamon powder, a natural active ingredient with strong antibacterial properties, helping the plant tissues heal quickly and effectively preventing rot. The scent of cinnamon can repel harmful insects such as ants and snails. Next, I prepared a new cotton pad, soaked it in the nutrient solution, and clamped it around the neck of the plant, the junction between the trunk and the base. This method helps maintain moisture and deliver nutrients to the right place where the plant needs to absorb the most. Next, I let the plant rest for 1 day in a cool place, away from strong sunlight, to heal the wounds. After 1 day, I checked again. Remove the cotton that had been wrapped before. At this time, the dormant buds were clearly protruding. The roots began to sprout and the wounds had dried up. This was the ideal time to proceed with planting. To use a piece of foam to make a base for the plant to stand upright and fixed. Prepare a clean glass jar to use as a nursery. Using the bottom of the jar as a measuring tool, cut a piece of foam to fit the diameter of the jar, ensuring the plant is securely secured inside. Then, cut the foam to the measured size. Place in the jar and prepare to plant. Next, secure the orchid in an upright position using 2 specialized support rods or light clamps to ensure the plant grows steadily and does not tilt during rooting. Place the plant in the center of the pot and secure gently to ensure it stands firmly. Next, I add a small amount of clean water to the bottom of the pot, just enough to cover the bottom of the foam. The water should not touch the base of the plant directly, to avoid waterlogging. If you don't have filtered water, you can use boiled water that has been cooled. This helps limit the growth of fungi. After planting, I use a lid with ventilation holes to create an environment like a small greenhouse, helping the plant to stabilize humidity, avoiding mold and pests. Place the pot in a cool, airy place with light diffused light, ideal conditions for orchids to recover and grow. If there is any remaining aloe vera bark nutrients, I use a cotton ball soaked in the solution to wipe the entire leaf surface of other orchids in the garden. The upper surface helps to clean the leaves of dust. The lower surface helps to remove fungus and supports the leaves to absorb nutrients through the stomata, helping to stimulate the roots, nourish the buds, and promote comprehensive plant growth. Wiping leaves with a mixture of banana peels and aloe vera helps remove dust and harmful bacteria from the leaf surface. Clean leaves help the plant breathe better, reduce the risk of disease, and promote overall orchid growth. This mixture contains many natural minerals such as potassium from banana peels and nutrients from aloe vera. When applied to the leaves, these nutrients can be absorbed through the surface, directly supplementing the plant, especially useful during recovery or when new leaves are developing. Every 2 weeks I repeat the process of wiping the leaves and fertilizing once. On normal days, I just need to spray mist to keep the plant moist regularly. Use a bottle to hold the remaining solution to water directly onto the base of the orchid. This natural fertilizer mixture will penetrate deep into the roots, providing essential nutrients such as potassium, calcium, and other trace elements to help the plant recover quickly, strengthen the roots, and prepare for the growth of young orchids on the flower branches. Watering with nutrients helps orchids bloom early, with large, brightly colored flowers, thick petals, and few pests. Leaves are shiny, clean and green, and roots develop healthily, crawling up the leaf axils and penetrating the substrate well, all thanks to a careful, scientific, and persistent care process. After about 3 weeks, I began to see very positive results from the above care method. The roots grew clearly, healthily, and extended out of the substrate. I checked the stem and saw new shoots growing right at the dormant buds. Both the base and the stem showed signs of growth. I gently lifted the plant out of the growing medium. Observed the roots carefully. They had spread out quite a lot. In particular, new shoots have begun to sprout, and some plants have even formed new roots, a clear sign that the recovery process is going well. Thanks to stable humidity conditions and the stored nutrients in the trunk, combined with biological compounds from bananas and aloe vera gel, the plants are strongly stimulated to restart the natural growth cycle. At this time, I sprayed mists to keep the entire stem and leaves moist for newly sprouted kai. Regular misting helps them not to lose water and continue to grow. Next, I put the plant back into the nurturing environment, a cool, shady place with light, diffused light. This is the ideal condition for the plant to continue to recover without heat shock or leaf burn. After a month, the plant had a strong breakthrough. The roots grew densely, and the new shoots were full of vitality. The orchid, which was just a small cutting, now had a new shoot on the stem and a firmly developed root shoot. Each dormant I was capable of reproduction if properly awakened. At this stage, I will take the plant out of the greenhouse environment, starting to move to the stable planting stage in the garden or in a pot. The roots are long enough, the stem is sturdy, the kai is strong, the plant is ready to enter the natural growth cycle. Next, I will use a sharp knife to cut the orchid stem cleanly. Cutting neatly will help the wound heal quickly and limit infection. After cutting, I use scissors to cut the stem diagonally to create a better contact area with the growing medium later. Next, I took a jar of cinnamon powder and disinfected the cut. Cinnamon powder has natural antibacterial properties, which are very effective in protecting the plant from rot and fungus. When the wound is treated carefully from the beginning, the orchid will have a stronger recovery ability. With just perseverance, From an orchid that seemed to be discarded, I now have 2 healthy orchid branches, and they can completely develop into brilliant orchids. After disinfecting, I prepared to plant the orchid in the pot. First, I drilled small holes around the edge of the pot to create ventilation. Next, I placed the orchid in the middle of the pot using treated pine bark as a growing medium. I always choose large pine bark to line the bottom of the pot, helping with good drainage, and use small pine bark on the top to retain moisture. I gently lifted the growing medium into the pot, keeping the plant steady. The orchid roots are evenly covered but not too tightly packed. With small cuttings, I also drilled holes for ventilation and then placed a thin layer of sphagnum moss at the bottom. This layer of moss helps retain moisture and create softness for the young roots to develop. After that, I continued to cover the roots with growing medium and completed the planting. Similarly, covering the surface of a large pot with a layer of moss will help maintain stable humidity for the plant, contributing to improving growing conditions naturally and effectively. Once the 2 orchids were established, I began post-planting care. I mixed an organic fertilizer solution from half an aloe vera leaf combined with banana peel liquid, crushed it, and filtered it to get about 500 milliliters of nutrient solution. This is the formula I often use, simple but rich in nutrients. I put this solution in a spray bottle and misted it on the leaves, while lightly watering the roots. I use this biological fertilizer every 2 weeks to supplement nutrients and stimulate the plant to root and develop leaves. In addition, I also maintain daily misting to keep the leaves and roots moist. This method is very important during the time the plant recovers after repotting, helping the environment around the roots to always be moist without being waterlogged. Watering directly into the root zone helps plants absorb nutrients more effectively, quickly, and easily and grow. In the early stages, I always place the plant in a place with gentle natural light, ventilation, but avoid direct sunlight. This will help the plant gradually adapt to the new environment without heat shock or leaf burn. Remove the pot. Do not soak it to avoid waterlogging, which will affect the growth of the plant. Just take care of it regularly and properly. After about 4 months, the orchid will start to sprout and bloom. This is a great result after a whole process of caring for it with all my heart. If you find my sharing useful, please subscribe to the channel and share the video with the orchid-loving community nationwide. I wish you much joy, success, and have healthy orchid pots with brilliant flowers. See you in the next video, where I will continue to share more interesting experiences in growing and caring for orchids.